Food and nutrition. Introduction. All living things on earth, plants, humans, and animals will not survive without food. In addition to keeping us alive, food also gives us nutrients necessary to our bodies. Nutrition is not about taking what we want to eat to be satisfied. It is about eating what our body needs to take to stay healthy.
We eat food every day for the proper growth of our body. We can say healthy food makes our body healthy. Objectives. At the end of this course, you will be able to define the important factors of food and nutrition. Define the 5 basic food groups. Know how to stay healthy. Based on what nutrients they have, foods have been classified into 5 basic food groups. Number 1, proteins. Number 2, carbohydrates. Number 3, vitamins. Number 4, minerals. And number 5, fats. First is proteins. Components. Proteins contain carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur, phosphorus, and amino acids.
In fitness nutrition, one thing you hear the most about is protein, protein, protein. If you want to build muscle, get enough protein. Losing weight, well, eat your protein. Stay the same weight, protein. Just want to chill on the couch all day and do nothing, well, then you're gonna need protein. We're tirelessly told that we need it, but exactly how much protein should we be eating? If you look up RDAs from places like the World Health Organization and National Academy of Sciences, you'll typically find numbers around 0.8 to 1 gram per kilogram of your body weight. A modest amount, but nothing massive. For a 180-pound male, that's roughly 2 chicken breasts or 3.5 scoops of your favorite protein supplements. But these recommendations are for the average person simply meeting daily requirements for a healthy life. Since almost all fitness goals revolve around building or preserving muscle tissue, naturally it will require more protein. One of the ways to determine adequate protein intake is measuring your nitrogen balance. From the 3 macronutrients, protein is the only one that contains the element nitrogen. Knowing this, researchers can figure out if you're eating enough protein by measuring the nitrogen content in your food and nitrogen content that you excrete. The goal is to achieve a positive nitrogen balance, meaning the amount of nitrogen you're consuming is greater than the amount leaving your body. Of course, measuring your own nitrogen balance is a rather complicated task. Fortunately, we can look at studies to determine the best value for positive nitrogen balance or educatively guess the best amount for building or preserving muscle. For people that don't work out and just want a healthy dose of protein, then the RDA of 0.8 grams per kilogram of body weight is completely fine. In fact, studies show that subjects can achieve a positive nitrogen balance with only 15% of their nutrition coming from protein, pretty much spot on with the RDA. When you add exercise and goals to the mix, though, things quickly change. When it comes to weight loss, intuitive thinking might tell you need less protein since you generally eat less to begin with. Studies, however, show favorable results for those that eat a higher protein diet, especially if they are either experienced lifters or have a low body fat percentage. The more body fat you have, the more you can get away with eating less protein. And the more intense you are training, the more protein you need to supplement the breakdown that will occur. All this being said, for people wanting to lose weight or body fat while preserving lean mass, eating roughly 1.6 grams to 2.3 grams per kilogram of body weight tend to do the trick, granted you are exercising enough. Bear in mind, though, that even the subjects eating the most protein still saw a drop in overall lean mass, just not as much as those eating less. For people wanting to bulk, surprisingly, the studies tend to favor protein amounts lower than your weight loss counterparts. Almost all studies show similar improvements in muscle protein synthesis with a protein intake of 1.2 to 2.2 grams per kilogram of body weight, those that are more fit requiring the higher end of the spectrum. Strength gains, however, do favor a protein intake above 3 grams per kilogram, but is not exactly necessary, especially if you're a beginning to intermediate lifter. In any case, there are drawbacks to eating too much protein. For weight loss, eating too much protein means fewer calories from the energy-efficient macronutrients, carbs, and fats. Not only will you have less energy, chances are that it will be much more difficult to adhere to your diet since it leaves little room for more desirable foods. For weight gain, too much protein will make it difficult to meet calorie needs since it will make you feel full quicker. Protein is also the most energy inefficient macronutrient, requiring your body to take roughly 30% of the calories from protein just to digest and use it as energy. So if you struggle meeting these ranges mentioned, try sticking to the low end of the spectrum, or at the very least, try meeting the minimum requirement of 0.8 grams per kilogram of body weight. And no, unless you already have renal issues, eating too much protein will not destroy your kidneys. Studies show that people can get away with eating as much as 4.5 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight with no health issues. Last but not least, never forget that having the proper exercise program paired with proper nutrition is your best bet. If you feel confident about your workouts, give these recommendations a shot and see if it works for you.
Here are the food sources of protein: meat, fish, eggs, beans, nuts, seeds, and bean products such as tofu, bean paste, and soy milk.
Here are the important factors of proteins. Build muscles and support the body's growth. Support the brain's growth. Help body make red blood cells which carry nutrients to nourish all parts of the body. Repair worn out or damaged cells and give the body some energy. Help create immunity for the body to fight against diseases. Next is carbohydrates. Components. Carbohydrates consist of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. They include sugars, starch, glycogen, and cellulose.
Most people who want to get into better shape believe carbs are unhealthy. It is sad to see how many people believe that a carb-cutting diet is a path to rapid weight loss. Carbs are what the body needs for energy. Without carbs, you won't be able to burn fat, and you'll be depriving your body of the minerals and vitamins it requires to function properly. A balanced diet is all it takes to lose weight easily, quickly, and correctly. This video will discuss what are carbohydrates and what types are best for your overall well-being. What are carbs? Carbs are the fiber, sugars, and starches contained in the food you eat. Much like fat and protein, carbohydrates are a macronutrient. Macronutrients are what give the body energy, with carbs being the primary source. We must eat protein, fat, and carbs since our body can't produce macronutrients on its own. There are two types of carbohydrates: complex carbs and simple carbs. Complex carbohydrates take a lengthy duration to process in the body. They help with the prolonged release of energy due to high amounts of nutrients and vitamins. Complex carbohydrates are beneficial when you're trying to maintain a healthy lifestyle, as they provide the body with extra nutrition to use and last longer as a source of energy. Several examples of complex carbohydrates are brown rice, whole grains, wheat, oats, starchy vegetables, beans, peas, and lentils. Any kind of food containing these ingredients is much better for your body than their processed equivalent. Simple carbohydrates are akin to processed food. They are regarded as simple sugars. Simple carbs get separated in the body very fast and are used as an immediate energy source that burns out faster. They can be detrimental to the body when regularly consumed since they are comprised of refined sugars with minimal vitamins or nutrients. Some examples of simple carbohydrates include honey, sugar, fruit juices, milk, candy, soda, and biscuits. Now that you know the difference between complex and simple carbs, let's address the truly bad carbohydrates, refined carbs. If you are attempting to lose weight, you must reduce your consumption of refined carbohydrates. Refined carbs are the main cause of obesity and consist of high levels of fats, calories, and sugars. Processed or refined carbohydrates are germ and bran-less grains, and as such have decreased nutrient content. Refined carbs are found in foods made with white flour, cereals, pizza, pasta, bread, etc., as well as white rice. Sugary beverages and potato chips are also high in refined carbs. Refined sugar is regarded as a refined carbohydrate. Therefore, ice creams, cookies, cakes, and donuts are the most typical refined carb sources. Integrate fresh vegetables, whole grains, fruits, and foods with fiber in your meals. They contain the proper carbs you should be feeding your body. Always choose the good source of carbs. The good carbs can help you instead of the ones that will hurt you.
Here are the food sources of carbohydrates. Starch and sugars such as rice, wheat, taro roots, potatoes, corn, sweet fruits and vegetables, and all sugar and starch products such as noodles, pasta, and bread. Here are the important factors of carbohydrates. Main source of energy for the body. Help body burn fats and stay active. Help make body warm. Can be converted to proteins and fats.
Carbohydrates, proteins and fats. Carbohydrates. These are the body's main source of energy. There are two types of carbohydrate: complex, starch, and simple, sugar. These are stored by the liver and muscles until they are needed. Proteins. These are made of amino acids which the body needs to make from food and help the body grow and repair itself. For example, after working out and lifting weights, proteins are needed in order to repair muscle and grow stronger. Fats. These are made of fatty acids and glycerol. Fats keep the body warm, protect organs and assist certain organs in absorbing vitamins. Some fats are converted into two types of cholesterol, high or low density lipoproteins. HDLs are good for the body as they help it remove the excess LDLs.